Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Chatter Squadron, your weekly dose of Star Wars fun and positivity. My name is Tyler Bucks.
And my name is Logan Hansaker. What is up, you rebel scum?
Well, we have quite a lot up today because we're covering a lot of really cool news. Now, I want to say at the beginning of this news show about Star Wars, there is a lot of big news type things going on in the Star Wars universe right now.
Right, as I'm sure everyone has heard and knows.
Right, and that's the thing. We kind of have made the decision, do we want to sit here and talk about what everybody else is talking about when it comes to these things, or do we want to do what our brand is, which is fun and positivity? So we're going to be talking about some other cool stuff happening in the Star Wars community right now. Of course, we have a lot of thoughts about the major things that are happening in the news.
Right, as I'm sure everyone does.
Right, but everyone's talking about it, so let's spread the love a little bit and talk about some more positive and, I don't know, things that we can look forward to. Like, a Star Wars script was written by a computer.
What?
Yeah, I know. We're going to be talking about that. We were able to talk to one of the creators of that, Matt from Blue Bantha Milk. So you're going to be hearing exclusive content from him, exclusive words from him.
Super cool.
We're also going to be talking about a mysterious Star Wars mobile game, which is going to be really cool. It's made by the same people who make Words with Friends.
Ooh,
pretty big stuff.
Spell our way through the galaxy.
And also we're going to be doing This Week
in Star Wars history.
And that's brought to you by Logan over here. Speaking of Logan over here, Logan, would you like to tell people about the art that they can win?
The art. We have art, like always. Yeah, you can comment on any of our videos this month. I think this is our third video so far of the month, but anything we release, any of our live shows, any of our filmed sketches, any promos, anything we release, if you comment on that, immediately enters you into a drawing to win Take the Bait by Phase Runner.
Phase Runner.
And
what
all
a
the
cool
art,
name.
Yeah, no, that is a dope name. All the art's given to us by Acme Archives Direct. So if you don't want to comment in, if you hate us, that's fine. Go to Acme Archives Direct directly. Hey, see what I did there? And you can get it for yourself. It's a lot of sweet art over there.
Yeah, and if you want a better picture of the art that you can win by commenting, here it is up there. Let me get rid of the banner really quick, so you can take a look. Look at that. You got the Mandalorian standing off with an ATST, and those eyes, they look like Mothman.
Yeah, it's a giant Ewok.
What a callback that was. And also, if you want to help us, Acme Archives, directly, you can go to our Patreon at patreon.com/Chatter Squadron. We have a bunch of reward tiers there. Like last week when we had an awful live stream, we talked candidly about how that live stream went.
Very candidly.
So you can get the post show of this show if you join our Patreon over there, plus a bunch of other cool levels that you can join. You can become part of the Chatter Squadron. And at a certain level, you get a shout out on every single episode. So we would like to thank Commodore Marroquin,
and Commodore
Rayside. I don't know why I was about to say their full names, but you can't say that. It's their Commodore Marroquin.
Just Commodore. Commodore is their first name.
Commodore, yeah, first name Commodore, last name Marroquin. Both of them. It's a family one.
Right.
So yeah, like I said before, we are going to be talking about this amazing AI written Star Wars story. It's such an interesting, cool idea. And I was throughout the week, I saw a bunch of news coming through, but I kept seeing posts about this AI
right.
Star Wars. And I was like, that's funny. That's cool. I wonder what that's all about. And then I finally figured out who did it. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I know these people. It's the Blue Bantha Milk boys. I was lucky enough to meet Matt from Blue Bantha Milk Co. at Star Wars Celebration Chicago while we were both waiting for our Ubers to arrive. We struck up a conversation about how we were surrounded by positive fans and we were relieved to be away from the toxicity of the internet. Immediately, we were friends. And when I say like we struck up a conversation, it was literally just like we were kind of walking and we were looking for our Uber. He was just there at the same time. He had their very cool logo, which I'm going to bring up here. There's the Blue Bantha Milk logo. And I think one of us said, hey, that's a really cool bag that you have there. And he gave us a sticker and everything. And we just started talking. We talked for maybe like a minute.
Right.
Just about bouncing back and forth. And since then, I've been on their show a couple times. We've been chatting ever since. So when I saw that something of theirs was blowing up so well, I was super stoked. And I know that you've been starting to see some of their stuff.
Yeah, I saw it through. I forget when I saw it earlier in the week or maybe middle of the week.
Mm-hmm.
Like you said too, there was obviously a lot of Star Wars news coming in this week, and everyone ran and raving about it. But this was one that I consistently kept seeing go through.
Right.
And I love, because I've seen things like that before where AI writes this, or they they feed AI a bunch of hours and hours of like Die Hard or something, and they write a new movie, and it's always hilarious. So as soon as I saw it, I was like, I got to click on that. And
I'm just happy that somebody finally did it for Star Wars.
Right.
I'm guessing you're wondering how they did it.
I was wondering. Yeah,
perfect. Well, I have the info here. Using the custom text generator InferKit, BBMCO fed the AI bot a brand new opening crawl and the scripts for episode 1 through 9. What they got was a beautiful disaster. The AI called A New Light Rises. I love that as a name because it does sound like a Star Wars film.
Right. It's like right on.
But at the same time, it's basically using words from other Star Wars movie titles.
Right.
Featuring the talents of content creators from Star Wars Explained, the Imperial Cast, Broax, the Nerds of Color, and Force Toast podcast, and of course Matt and Sean of Blue Bantha Milk. They did like a script reading of it, and they are doing live streams of reading, and they even have pictures that go along with the story that pop up on the screen
to set some of the scenes and the characters. It's super cool. It's really cool.
And what's really funny about that is there's a lot of things that make zero sense to happen, and then just it'll pop up on the screen, and you try to envision what the computer was trying to do, and then it'll pop up on the screen, and you get like this immediate visual. It's really cool stuff. Like
Jar Jar Jedi.
A lot of really cool people were involved in this, so you can check it out on their YouTube channel. But before we jump into that, keep watching this. I was so excited to see this video titled Star Wars Episode 10X, written by currently rising to 30,000 views. That's when I wrote this. Maybe it's even higher now. So I reached out to Matt to get the inside scoop straight from the source. So I asked him some questions, and he was super helpful and game to give us a lot of really cool answers. So if you want to know more about a computer generated Star Wars movie, here we go. I asked him, what was the first thing that gave you guys the idea to force a computer to write a Star Wars film?
Yeah, and Matt says,
then this is Matt, also known as Logan.
I will be playing the role of Matt. The idea came around Xmas. I was actually watching YouTube, and I got some recommendations for videos about AI. Then I was driving the next day, and the idea hit me at a set of lights. It just felt like, bam, there's the idea. So I got into Sean pretty quickly, and we didn't have to discuss it much. It was an easy yes.
Mm-hmm. So the easy yes. They're already, ready to jump through with this new program and this new software. Continue with what his quote said.
Yeah, it said, you know us, man. We don't take Star Wars too seriously. I mean, we do. We definitely do, but we're not the guys that can't see how funny and goofy it can be, and we love collaborating with other people. We'd seen a Shakespeare table read over Zoom not long ago starring Oscar Isaac, and it was awesome. And we thought, what if it was Star Wars, but bonkers?
But bonkers.
And that's true. That does encapsulate, I think, a lot. It is very light. It's funny. You know what I mean? When you have an AI taking 9 movie scripts, absorbing all of that, and then trying to just spit out a whole nother movie, it's funny. You know, it's what it comes up with.
The whole thing is really hilarious. When I asked him, how much editing did you have to do to ensure it would be understandable, I could feel the exhaustion pouring out of his keyboard with this reply.
So when we started, we had to give the AI all the info it needs to know we're doing Star Wars. So we fed it the first 9 films, easy. But if you hit go after that, it just thinks we're continuing episode 9. So you need to guide it with narration. So when we decided what the setting of episode 10 would be, we tried to be loose enough that we didn't box the AI in, but also had to be clear as to who would be involved, particularly as we went along.
Mm-hmm. They did a whole video on the making of the AI thing, and they basically went into how they formulated a lot of the guidance for this, because they, even in that video, they showcased, well, it was Matt showcasing just generating a script, and it was like all over the place because it was just making anything up that it could. So they kind of go into a little bit of detail how they fed the correct information to create a narrative story with it.
Well, and also like that, when he was saying that it picked up right after episode 9, like he wasn't kidding. It picked up right after, you know, where Ray's still talking to the woman.
Yes.
After episode 9.
Right.
Of like, that was just funny. It's like, it really wanted to just pick up right there. That's what we're not going to have any time in between. We're just starting right up.
Yeah. He talked a little bit more about how long it took too in this other quote.
Right. The whole process took weeks, but when we had the story, we were satisfied. We still had to go back in and ensure we were narrating characters into their scenes. The AI sucks at that.
Yeah.
It would often describe something happened to a character, but in the middle of a scene, that character hadn't spoken, so we'd have to ensure that we wrote so-and-so enters in the room. Otherwise, it will be too hard to follow, which makes sense. Like if you don't have that on the page, they just start speaking. It's like, whoa, what? They're here?
Yeah,
They were here this whole time?
I don't think that that's like, that's too much to ask, to be completely honest. Like, I don't think that that's a bad thing necessarily. Do you know what I mean? Like I could see someone might say, oh, so AI didn't completely write the script and everything. But at the same time, it's true. It's like, well, yeah, you kind of, if the AI is just spitting out kind of random stuff, you don't know what the set direction is. You don't really know what the setting is. You don't know who's really talking.
Right.
So I feel like it is kind of up to humans to rein in some of that stuff as the programs and everything exist now. I'm going to throw, we have some more to go into this, but I'm going to throw the question out there. What would you have named episode 10? Put that in the comments. Like that, you could possibly win the art that's behind us, and we can pull your comment up on the screen, right? Like the computer named it A New Hope Rises,
right?
Or New Light Rises. So be sure, try and top a computer and let us know what you would have named episode 10. So it was at this point in the interview where I stopped playing games. I got right down to the heart of the issues, and I didn't pull any punches when I asked him, you can totally say no to this, but are there any other AI scripts that we may be seeing in the future? And this is what he said.
Yes, we've had such a fun time doing this that we're going to keep doing it. We found the thing we want to do with our live stream now. It's different, but it's in a nutshell, and it separates our channel from others really well. We're still going to do video essays, but seeing how we can make a YouTube event like this, get great support, and really focus on it has really given us a renewed drive to say, F the YouTube algorithm. And F grinding to push videos every single week. We work on projects now, not content.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of that type of mentality of like, you know what, this is what we're enjoying. This is what we really like. So, you know what, let's just say this is what we're making now.
9 times out of 10, if you are creating something and you're enjoying it and you're having a fun time doing it, that'll translate. You know what I mean? That's what other people want to see as well. That's what's gonna make them laugh.
Do you think anybody notices that we have no fun doing this show?
I notice.
I think they notice now that I said that I don't enjoy doing the show.
Right.
Do you think anyone noticed that I said that?
I think right up until you said it, no one had noticed.
Probably noticed once I said it.
Right.
I shouldn't have done that. So he has one other part when it comes to this. So yes, we've got more AI table reads in the works. We decided to make Solo 2 happen ourselves, but with a stupid AI bot. That's coming at the end of the month, and we'll announce the full cast soon. Solo 2. They made Solo 2 happen. Finally, all the Twitter hashtags can stop because it's happening now.
Solo 2 is happening. Brought to you by AI.
Brought to you by AI and Blue Bantha Milk Co. Matt teases us with his mysterious Australian ways with this quote.
At the end of episode 10 this week, we'll announce the next slate of projects to get us through the year and something really cool to make it all work. So you'll have to wait and see what that is. Kangaroo, Vegemite, dingo.
Yeah, see, he has to slip that stuff in. I think it's mandated if he talks to anybody outside of Australia, he has to add some Australian in there.
Yeah, you have to slip in a kangaroo. I don't even think I know what Vegemite is.
It's like a savory jam.
Okay.
I haven't had it.
Tyler's Australian. You're first.
I'm not Australian. Stop. Don't say that. No, it's like a savory jam. And I think people in England like it too. Anyone from England watching, let us know. So part 2 of episode 10 AI streams on YouTube today at 6 p.m. Eastern. I can't express how proud I am of the Blue Bantha Milk boys. Matt, Sean, major congrats. I just wish we could somehow be a part of this amazing video series ourselves, you know?
Right. Well, there's actually one more quote from Matt.
There's one more quote? What do you
he
mean?
told you this right here. You didn't remember this?
I mean, when people talk to me, it just goes in my ears and I type it out. So what happened? What did he say?
That's what happens when I talk to you as well. He says,
"What?
So how about you and Logan start doing your vocal warm-up exercises now? Because you're going to be in one of the next ones. And that's part of our canon now."
What?
Yeah.
Wait. So we're going to get artificially intelligent with the Blue Bantha Milk boys soon?
We are going to get artificially intelligent.
I hope they show us how they milk those Blue Banthas. That's what I want.
That's what the AI... Oh,
so
you imagine.
So once again, be sure to check out that part 2 of their stream, which is coming guess tonight, for it matters what time zone you're in, but tonight at 6 p.m. Eastern. So that's February 13th, 2021 on YouTube. Just search Blue Bantha Milk Co. You can't miss them. It's going to be a lot of fun. And be sure to check out the first one so you're not even more confused. Logan, you watched most of this, correct?
Yeah. Yes.
So let's get to what
Let's
get to what you thought in a second, but I want to bring up what a lot of people are saying they would name episode 10. We're going to go to Trevor saying Star Wars 10, The Quickening. I like also Star Wars 10, In the Hood. Commodore Marroquin said The Vacation of Skywalker. Was The Vacation of Skywalker, was that when he went to Octu in The Last Jedi? Was that just a vacation?
It's a mini vacation.
Just a mini one. And then let's go to Siren. Star Wars 10 droids take over the production studio. See, there it is.
That's good.
That's where the AI actually does take over not only the script writing, but the filming and the acting, all of it.
That's when the AI becomes self-aware. It starts writing more AI as characters. Before you know it, all the characters are AI, played by AI.
Mm-hmm.
That's the future.
Star Wars X Electra Boogaloo. I tried to add X into there, but it did not work.
Electric.
So Logan, you watched a lot of the stream. I watched most of it, but at the same time, I was also watching how it was made and all of that stuff to catch up on this, and of course talking to Matt. So you watched most of it, but I just wanted to bring up, this is a little bit of spoiler territory, but I wanted to bring up some of the really funny things that was said during this.
Right.
One of my favorite bits that I caught was a conversation between Rey and Darth Vader. Logan, would you like to be Rey in this situation?
I will be Rey. You are not my father.
You are right.
I am no one's child.
That is too bad. It's just like,
but
like I just love Darth Vader thinking of that. Like, that is too bad. Like, he's actually sorry about it. You know what I mean?
That is too bad. As much emotion as Darth Vader can show behind the mask, he does. Also, like it understands their what they're saying. You know what I mean? Like the characters. It understands. Like that's how Darth Vader. Although he's not. No one's gonna say I'm no one's child. And he says that's too bad. That is how he speaks. That cadence and very short kind of. You know what I mean?
Right.
And obviously Rey with.
And is it weird? It just blows my mind that this is even possible, that a computer can put this together. Like just that, a conversation between two characters and picking up on the cadence. That's something too. If you watch this, Rey often will reiterate who she is.
Right.
But I'm Rey Skywalker, Jedi Master.
Right.
But I'm Rey Skywalker, no one's child. Like she'll say that stuff over and over because of some of the writing in the sequels where she does say, I'm Rey.
Right. Yeah. Really.
So the computer picked up like, oh, this character says her name all the time. So let's say her name all the time.
This character is obsessed with who she is.
Yeah.
Her parents.
Where she came from.
Right.
And trying to convince other people who she is as well. There's another part in this, Rey punching Darth Vader.
Yeah. Rey's sitting there punching Darth Vader saying, I am no one's child. And Vader responds,
I see. But just like being punched, I am no one's child.
I see.
And
And then, followed later, again, we are getting a little bit of spoiler territory. But Finn says, "I am also a Skywalker. I am your brother."
And then Rey struggles to kiss Finn.
Just immediately goes in for the kiss.
The AI picked up the fact that siblings kiss each other in the Star Wars movies. So it adds it to this script. Like, I honestly do think it like picked up on that.
That is true. Until you said that, it picked up on in A New Hope.
Yeah. Empire
Luke
Strikes
and Leia.
Back too.
Right.
But there was another big moment where some family members got intimate.
Yeah. Kylo Ren leans into Vader to kiss him. Then in that, Kylo Ren wounds Vader, and then Rey says to Kylo, "I am your father."
It's just the way the stream reacts, all the people reading reacts to Kylo leaning in to kiss Vader is hilarious. If anything, go check out that scene. It is so freaking funny. I want to bring up Trevor saying Kylo kissing Vader is pretty on brand for Kylo.
No, that's the thing. That's why it's hilarious, because if you know what I mean, Kylo Ren is obsessed with Vader.
Yeah,
so
right.
it just takes that. It's like, oh, this guy's really obsessed with this character. I'd probably try to kiss him.
So I'm super excited for especially Solo 2, part 2 of episode 10 that's coming out very soon. And I'm also very excited that we get to be in one of the future ones.
Yes.
Logan, we will be one of those little screens doing the table read right here.
Beep boop.
In the you just get R2, like the worst character.
I think that's the best character. I loved it.
Beep boop beep.
I love watching all that.
Man, now I want to be one of the droids so I can just like sass it up big time.
That's what
beep,
I'm saying.
Boop, beep boop.
Right. Those beeps and those boops, they can be anything you want. So much subtext. It can be.
There's a lot of cadence that you can give a good beep. Let's move on to a mysterious new Star Wars mobile game has been announced, and this was kind of floated under the radar because it was brought up in like a Zynga phone meeting, basically.
Interesting.
I'll read a little bit more about this. Zynga, who made Words with Friends and Farmville, revealed that it was working on its first Star Wars game late last year. In the company's latest earnings report, the company revealed, "We also expect our first Star Wars game to enter soft launch in early summer with the potential to launch by the end of the year." So soft launch, basically what that means is it might be released with not a lot of features,
right?
Or you might be able to play like the first level or whatever it is. Sometimes a soft launch is just to roll it out to the public so that they get an idea, and they don't have to bog everybody down with an entire game.
Get some of those bugs out, maybe.
Get some of the bugs out. And then another way you can soft launch is by releasing it to a specific amount of people.
Right.
You can do kind of test groups or whatever it is. So I'm not sure exactly what they'll do for a soft launch, but those are the possibilities. We still don't know exactly what the Star Wars game will be, but it seems we won't have to wait too long. By the way, this is from IGN Africa is where I'm getting this. But yeah, we won't have to wait too long. And in an investor Q&A, CEO Frank Gibeau, how would you say that? Gibeau? Wouldn't be drawn on more details, but added, "There will be more news on the Star Wars title as we progress into the first part of this year." Logan, isn't it the first part of this year?
Well, I think it is, Tyler.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, everybody, for watching. That's the end of our show now. Zynga opened a brand new Austin, Texas studio to develop its Star Wars game, adding that it had a mission of bringing AAA console visuals and deep, compelling gameplay to a mobile platform.
Batteries will be included.
I hope so. I mean, that sounds pretty powerful. It sounds like half of your phone is now going to be dedicated to playing a game.
It's true. And personally, I don't know how you are with phone games. I don't play a lot of phone games.
Yeah.
But I am going to check, once this one rolls out, I'll check it out.
I do play phone games because I have crippling ADHD. And so sometimes I do need something. And I kind of bounce between different ones. They're usually sports like bowling or baseball or lawn darts.
Little one where you put the piece of trash in the trash can and you have to use the fan. That's an old one.
That's like the first app ever created was you flick the paper.
Did I just date myself?
You flick the paper into the trash can.
Those are the games I play.
I played it too. I played the crap out of it because there was no other games. It was like when you could only play Snake on your phone
or the lighter app.
Oh, dude, there were so many apps that were just things. You know what I mean? It's just like, look, it's a lighter. Look, it's a knife. Look, it's a gun.
Well, the lighter was cool because you would tilt the screen and the flame would also tilt.
Yeah, mind-blowing stuff.
I'm easy to please.
But seriously, at the time, but truly, when back in the day, you didn't have like a flashlight. Yeah, I know. I'm gonna read it, and it's like you didn't have a flashlight on your phone or your iPod or whatever it was.
Right.
So sometimes you would use the lighter as the screen to light up. That was another one. Flashlight apps, which was literally just your screen turned completely bright white.
Just drained your battery. It just immediately drained. It went from 90% to 34.
Now that we're on this tangent, let's go to Rick. Says, all my phone games involve texting Tyler. It's true. He's texting me right now. No, I don't want to hang out later, Rick. Jeez. It's sad, honestly. I used to play that Siren says, I used to play that trash can game instead of paying attention to my pre-calc class.
Right.
So see, we're not the only ones. And
calculator games were good
I
too.
want to see the AAA level trash can into the paper into the trash can game. That's what I want to see, those graphics and in-depth gameplay with.
I want to see a storyline. Why are we flicking the trash? Who's leaving that fan on?
Right. I want to learn the sciences of this world.
Who's controlling the speed? Not me.
So here's the thing. Now I've played KOTOR on mobile, but that's a remake. And I also remember playing another major game called Star Wars Uprising, which came out around 2015. It was a canon story that took place after Return of the Jedi. And one of the main reasons I was playing it was to gain intel into what is going to be happening in the new trilogy, because back then it was super hush. We didn't know what was going on at all, and this was one of the first games games that was able to tell that canon story. I enjoyed it a lot, but the thing is, I don't know what a AAA game means. Do you know what I mean? Like what? Because I would love for a really cool story. I've played a lot of really cool mobile games that had like a strong story to it, right? I don't need a bunch of graphics to make that happen, though.
Is AAA just with graphics?
I believe AAA, if you want to search what the definition of a AAA game would be.
I actually did
this
morning.
Oh, okay. But so the quote once again is a mission of bringing AAA console visuals and deep, compelling gameplay to mobile platforms. So we're kind of in that area. While Logan is looking that up, I'm going to ask people, have you played any Star Wars mobile games? Because like that, we're a little limited on our expertise here. So have you played a Star Wars mobile video game? Let us know in the comments. You could possibly win that art, and we can possibly bring your comment up on the screen. What's a AAA game?
So this says AAA is an informal classification used for video games produced and distributed by a mid-sized or major publisher, typically having higher development and marketing budgets.
Okay.
So maybe just bigger budget. I don't know if that's all necessary to just the graphics. You know what I mean? Bigger budget could be more people working on all aspects of it.
Right.
Or it could be graphics. I don't know.
The thing is, they're saying
the trash can game.
Right. So they're saying, AAA console visuals, and that's what I'm concerned by, because me personally, I'm a person who has to manage the size of files on my phone,
right?
Making a lot of thumbnails for the show. So I have a lot of PNGs on there. And the thing is, if it's too big, I won't be able to play this game.
Right. And I think that's what a lot of people would run into as well.
Right. And that's something like I remember when Pokemon Go came out, I was making sure I could play it on my phone. And I think I even worked on getting an upgrade for my phone in order to play that game. So I don't know if I can.
And an upgrade for your battery.
Yeah,
for
that too.
game.
Dude, people running around the park with battery packs with their phones plugged in.
That was me last summer.
Dude, it was back when Pokemon Go came out, that's like the opposite of what happened during COVID. Everyone has had to stay in their house and not go anywhere. But Pokemon Go was what they actually caused the world to go out and run around on their phones. I hated people. I hate people. No, I hated the people.
End quote.
I hated the people. Tyler says he hates people.
I hate people. Heard it here first.
I hated the people that were like, oh, these Pokemon Go people are so annoying. They're all running around, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, it's gonna give it like 2 more months. Right. It'll be done in 2 more months. Just let people have fun outside again,
or not. Like I wish it would have not only lasted 2 months.
Right.
And I was up at school at the time too. So, and it was again during the summer when it first came out. What was it 2016 or something? Mm-hmm. Everyone would like meet at the park and basically just meet up and play and catch Pokemon. But you'd meet people.
I'm sorry, the face you made when you said meet up at the park seemed like really like suspicious. Or like we'd all meet up at the park.
We all meet up at the park. I was trying. That's me. Here's a pulling down the facade of our show. I'm listening to myself in the mic. We have new mics.
Yeah,
we have new mics, and so that's me trying to listen to myself and picking back weird words. Tyler's touching my leg. There's a lot going on over here.
This desk there's a lot going on under this desk.
So that's if I make any weird faces, that's why.
Oh, hey, oh. Anyway, so
meeting up at the park.
You know what that means.
Where are your hands?
let's talk about what some people said in the comments, if that's okay. Yeah, I was gathering you met up at the park and played Pokemon Go.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Wink.
Trevor says he played Angry Birds Star Wars for the win. I forgot about that. It was so cool. I was an Angry Birds aficionado. I don't know if we were still like hanging out around that time. When I would play Angry Birds, I would get 3 stars on everything. And people would come to me when I was in church, and people would come to me with their phones or iPods or whatever and say, can you get 3 stars on this level for me?
Right.
I was like this savant.
I'm picturing Tyler just in like the corner, a hooded robe, meditating, and people are just coming to you for wisdom and knowledge with their phones in their hand.
Mm-hmm. But the 3 stars is not the treasure you seek.
Well, just the other day I was whistling the Angry Birds theme song we work on the show, and you immediately picked it up.
It's ingrained in my head, because then you looked at me and you're like, you know what that is? I'm like, of course I know what it is.
Right.
No, we don't want to get demonetized. Jonathan Marroquin says Star Wars Commander and Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes. That's a big one. Galaxy of Heroes. They stopped updates on Commander last year, and then it sadly stopped working on my tablet. We can't download it anymore. It was like Clash Royale, but Star Wars and just enough storyline to get by. Let's see. Dale says no room for games on my phone either. And that's the thing. I probably could make room, but not enough to facilitate basically cyberpunk.
Well, you know, until I got this new phone a few months ago, I couldn't do anything on my phone.
That's true.
People tried to text me and it just wouldn't happen. It was like not enough space.
You didn't even have a phone. It was just a piece of paper that you wrote a screen on.
I wrote phone.
Yeah, and you wrote phone on the back of it, so you didn't forget.
People just wrote. They had to write on their text message on my piece of paper.
You went through so many phones.
Yeah, a lot of paper.
Too many texts on there.
I actually do have a prediction I saw here.
Really?
For this new phone game.
Okay.
Because it says, from Words with Friends and Farmville, right? So I'm thinking maybe it's Star Wars. You start out just normal farming.
Okay.
Maybe Tatooine, wherever.
Moisture farming, sure.
Moisture farming.
Yeah.
Then the Empire comes, burns your farm down.
Burns all the moisture. all the water's
maybe
gone.
you start as Uncle Owen, or
Yeah, you choose. You can do the whole gender thing. Uncle Owen or Aunt Beru. Choose
Right.
one.
But I mean, for like 90% of the game, it's just a farming game. No Star Wars ever. You know what I mean? Like this is at the very end. Like,
and then just the Empire just comes and burns. No matter how well you do,
that's what I mean.
it just gets rid of everything you got.
Like, well, you have the worst farm, the best farm. They torch it.
I think Jeremy has the perfect name for this. Farms Wars.
That's perfect. Farms Wars.
Farms Wars with friends. You work together a lot, and it's like it's almost like that thing, like everybody's rising the ranks. They don't know, like, oh, what happens when you get to the final rank?
Right.
And then finally somebody does, and they're just like, oh, here we go. And it's like amazing music. You have the best farm now and everything, and then just you see a Star Destroyer just boom, and they razor crest your farm, just kaboom. Like you see you see the just aerial view shot. And just one shot blows it up, and then it ends the end, and it's just your skeleton, you and Aunt Beru's skeleton, right? Like in A New Hope.
It's like Animal Crossing. You mix that with Farmville, Words with Friends. You get as many people and animals to your farm as possible. Only to have destroy.
Kapow. So yeah,
I would play that.
Now that's the AAA game I would play. We have a couple more things we want to get to. Like we said before, join our Patreon at patreon.com/Chatter Squadron. We do post shows on there. You get to see our show notes there. You also get to join our Discord where we can talk to you throughout the week. So go ahead, check that out. It helps us out greatly because we're able to do other things like get mics, get a better camera, work with a better program to be able to make the stream work. We appreciate everybody so much for helping us when it comes to this. So check us out, patreon.com/Chatter Squadron. And I appreciate everybody. I'm going to put in the chat is our link tree. That's where you can check out basically everything we have. We also have merch as well. I felt like I had stickers still here somewhere that we showed off last week during the disaster of a show that we had. And no, they're not.
And they are gone.
They are gone. But see, that's the thing. They're gone because they're selling out so well. Whatever.
They're selling out.
Oh, you can sell that.
They're
you
gone.
can show that one.
I can sell this. You can. Tyler wants me to sell my mug. Buy it from me directly.
It still has liquid in it.
It still has.
From Logan Honsaker himself.
The soap stains from when I didn't wash it good enough.
Anyway, moving on to This Week
in Star Wars History.
Brought to you by Logan Honsaker.
Ooh, little reverb in there.
Little reverb, just a little bit of reverb. Logan, would you like to talk about what we have for this week in Star Wars history?
In Star Wars history? Yes, I do. As Sean Connery, February 12th. We're just going to kick it right off and get right into it. February 12th, 1978 is the day, which would have been yesterday in 1978, that Del Rey published the first expanded universe novel, Splinter of the Mind's Eye, written by Alan Dean Foster.
Yeah, and we did back in the day, Chatter Squadron did a episode all about Splinter of the Mind's Eye. If you don't know what it is the original sequel to Star Wars A New Hope that was commissioned by George to be like a low budget version in case A New Hope did not do well. So it's a really interesting, it's kind of like alternate universe type thing, kind of like we were talking about with the AI.
Right. February 13th.
Oh, you did that while I was drinking. February 13th. There it is on the screen.
Always keeping you on your toes. Always keeping you on your tippy toes. Which would be, what is that day? Today in 1985, the Ewok movie. That's like the most exciting. I'm trying to make the days exciting. You know what I mean?
What's that day?
Oh, it's today.
It's the same date as today.
I don't know what I'm doing.
It's like we're doing Sunday school.
Yeah, right. We need a little finger puppets.
Yeah, and we also need like that Hawaiian fruit punch with pretzels. What a good combo that was at every church you ever went to.
You can only get one cup.
What? Comment in the chat if you had Hawaiian punch and pretzels in one cup at a church. Tell us what happened in February 13th.
1985, the Ewok movie Caravan of Courage released theatrically in Venezuela. Now, I have not seen this movie,
Neither have I.
but when I saw that, I just I took a guess. Caravan of Courage, it's an Ewok movie, so I figured how many Ewoks we could fit in a Dodge Caravan.
Oh,
how many Toffs we could fit in a Dodge Caravan.
Sorry guys, my little Ewok is here to be on the show.
She's gonna breathe into the mic. Meow. Nice. Did a mic? I've actually been refraining.
Did the classic Toph mic slap? Now we got so many clicks now. The numbers are going through the roof. Everybody loves seeing cats on the screen.
Cats on the screen.
But yeah, I would love to watch Caravan of Courage at some point. And
my version.
Your version, yeah, sure. That
to
one
see
too.
How many Ewoks we put in a Dodge Caravan.
Yes, I like that one more.
I think all the Ewoks we saw in Return of the Jedi
could fit in a Dodge Caravan.
Yeah, I mean those new ones, they got floor space.
Are they going to be alive when you do that, or are you going to chop them?
Oh, that's true. I guess some did die. We'll get all of them.
Yeah.
Just go
here, sit right next to this carcass.
Battle of Endor.
Shove them in.
Oh, I won't be in there. I'm not an Ewok.
You sure? You're a giant Ewok. Look at how tall you are.
I'm 6 feet tall. Yeah, right.
Siren says the pretzels were floating. Not a good combo when the church was on a budget, for sure. Jonathan Marroquin says, pretty kitty. Thank you. Toph is over there eating. I hope you cannot hear that. Do you have one more thing? Oh, no, you have a couple more things.
I have a few more. February 14th, Valentine's Day in 1997, The Empire Strikes Back special edition premieres.
Ooh.
So if you didn't get enough CGI and dubbed over lines the first time,
right,
you could have enjoyed that.
You'll get your fill now. You'll get your fill of proverbial Hawaiian punch and pretzels. I'm not getting off of that. I had that way too many times.
I was going to say, you are on the Hawaiian punch. I'm down for it. Like, you know me. I'm game.
You know me. I'm a big Hawaiian punch fan.
I'm not. I hate Hawaiian punch.
Okay. Now I believe it's your last thing here, right?
It is the last. Yeah, I think so. February 15th, 1995. I was 1 year old. 1 year old. Star Wars: The Dark Forces is released for the PC. And I just threw a little synopsis up here because I actually didn't know a whole lot about this game. But once I was researching it a little bit, I thought it was pretty interesting. Like,
right.
Something that I might go back and check out. So for those of you who do know, feel free to tune me out. And for those who don't know, listen in. The storyline in Dark Forces follows Kyle Katarn, voiced by Nick Jameson, a mercenary employed by the Rebel Alliance. Prior to the game's events, Kyle was preparing for a career in agricultural mechanics like his father, but ended up joining the Imperial Academy after his parents were supposedly, don't make me laugh, supposedly murdered. I know you got a joke. Supposedly murdered. There it is.
It's just the name, the name Kyle, and how boring of joining to do, what was it again? Agricultural mechanics. That's like
his father.
It doesn't sound like a Star Wars game at all, just from that synopsis. Kyle was preparing for a career in agricultural mechanics. Oh, he could have help with the Farmville game.
See, it's all making sense now.
Kyle Katarn is going to be one of the playable characters. You heard it here first at Chatter Squadron.
That's our quote us on it. Quote
us. IGN, I know you're listening. Continue with the synopsis. Sorry.
Yeah, apparently he was going to be an agricultural mechanics, but Star Wars couldn't have that.
Mechanic.
We got to make some stuff happen. He ended up joining the Imperial Army after his parents were supposedly murdered by rebels, whom he grew to hate. After graduating from the academy and joining the Imperial Army, Kyle met Jan Ors, a double agent working for the rebels who had uncovered the truth about his parents' death. The Empire were the ones who had them killed, and not the rebels, as he had been told by officials. This revelation caused Kyle to distrust the Empire. That's what did it.
I love they had to specify that. By the way, this is what caused him to distrust the Empire.
Up until then, he was on board. He saw what they were doing, enslaving people, taking them for their army,
creating mass weapons of destruction,
killing whole planets.
And then when it was said, hey, by the way, we also killed your parents. oh, I thought we just killed other people's parents.
You guys said you wouldn't do.
You.
And even then, it's just caused him to distrust them. He doesn't hate him. He's like,
This is by the way, this is
guys.
exactly how it went down in the game too.
Yeah.
These words being said. You guys.
Oh, I distrust you. After I found that out,
I'm very distrusting.
So he distrusts the Empire, and he eventually defected in order to rescue Jan, who had been found to be supplying information to the rebels and arrested. After escaping from the Empire alongside Jan, he became a mercenary, eventually taking jobs from the Rebel Alliance, often alongside Jan, because of his hatred towards the Empire.
I'm a big fan of Jan, not in Dark Forces, but in The Office. I think she did an amazing job when she went and continued her acting career.
That's who this is. This is Jan from The Office.
Yeah, I thought so. I put the question in the chat. Have you ever played Star Wars Dark Forces? I can attest to this. I don't think I ever played Star Wars Dark Forces because that was one of my brother's games growing up.
And you didn't touch that game.
I was not allowed to touch those games for good reasons too, because I have been known to accidentally delete save files of games.
Oh,
I deleted Jim, my oldest brother's entire Final Fantasy VII save game.
Well, how would you even do that?
Because I'm just trying to save. I'm a child. They were my brothers are a lot older than me. So like when they were, 15, 16, 17, I was like 5'8". 5'8", just height wise, I was 5'8". No, but
right.
I was
he was a tall child.
I was a giant
deleting
Ewok.
games.
I was a small child, so I didn't really know any better. But yeah, I was known to do that. But if you ever played Dark Forces, let us know. I know that Kyle Katarn is such a big character that people would like to see return.
And that another reason is why I thought it was kind of cool to bring this up is because, like we know with the new show, Mandalorian, all that, all the new stuff coming out, that does seem to be the trend of what they're doing. They're taking old things,
right,
old characters that maybe people forgot about, maybe people didn't forget about. We're not sure anymore if it's canon, if it's not, and they're kind of bringing them in and reintroducing them into the Star Wars universe,
which I think is smart because if you take a character, or if you take a thing from like the Star Wars EU expanded universe, you can kind of get a very interesting new take on that thing. A good example of that is the Dark Troopers. The Dark Troopers. Yes, they were in old media. They're kind of brought in a little bit into the new canon and everything, but they brought up this thing that looks new to a lot of people, but is still fan service to a lot of us. And I think that's a big thing that now I'm talking about Mandalorian for a second, but I think that's a big thing that we kind of get lost with the Mandalorian is a lot of people think, oh, this is a lot of fan service that they're doing in this.
Right.
But also a lot of people don't know what the heck 80% of what they're seeing is in the Mandalorian.
Right.
So I feel like if they brought this kind of cool character, Kyle Katarn, I don't know if he would be force sensitive like he is in the games and all that stuff, but if they brought someone like that, it could be just a cool mercenary or cool kind of scoundrel type person in the Mandalorian that we know what it is, but the general public would not know. And that's what's kind of cool about shows like this and other things where we fill you in on those things. Like we did with that one episode where we told everybody, hey, here's kind of the big players that might be coming to the Mandalorian. And this is their stories.
Right. And I noticed they even do that. Even if they don't use the exact names, I know we talked a little bit before. I could be totally wrong here, but I think that even with characters and storylines are doing it. I noticed Force Unleashed is not technically canon anymore, obviously, but Master Coda was always one of my favorite characters in that game.
Yeah.
Saw huge tie-ins with Kanan.
Yeah.
When I watched Rebels. You know what I mean?
When he was blinded and everything as well. So yeah.
And saw through the Force and all that. I mean, that's an incredible storyline regardless for another time, but I do love that. I don't know. Maybe it's fan service. Sure, it's fan service. Great. We love it. So let it be fan service. I don't know. I
want to say Trevor, he said, I've never played the first Dark Forces, but I played a bit of Dark Forces 2 and loved it. I just remember seeing the cover of Dark Forces. I remember it being scary. I don't have the picture up, so you guys can look at it yourselves. But I remember it being scary,
right?
Because it was dark stormtroopers. I think one was pointing his blaster at you with a laser shooting at you in the
Scarier for
the
you because you were also a child.
yeah, I was a child. I was a child 5'8". That's how tall I was. And I was a child
Inches?
deleting that 5 inches and 8 centimeters tall. And Toph is still trying to get up here. I will cuddle with you in a second. We have to close the show out. We have to do a post show for the patrons. We have to go to the outer, the unknown regions in a second.
Toph wants to be a part of the show.
She is a part of the show. She's the brains behind this operation. But yeah, so that's kind of wrapping up the Star Wars bit of the show. Like we said, we wanted to keep it more positive. We wanted to highlight people who are doing cool things in the community. So once again, check out Blue Bantha Milk, because tonight they are finishing episode X.
Yeah, watch part 1 if you haven't. Very entertaining, very hilarious.
Right.
Yeah, if you're ever worried about AI taking over our jobs in the arts, don't worry about that anymore.
Don't worry about that anymore, because you can see how much work they did to make this script even possible.
Right.
So and like that, again, we are going to be in one of the future ones.
It's true.
I'm super excited about that. But before we go to the unknown regions, Logan, I would like to give one more shout out to the art that you can get from Acme Archives Direct, Lucasfilm license, and everything. If you comment on our videos, you'll be randomly entered in to win. And you can be as excited and happy as Kevin Toft. Look at him.
Look at him.
Look at how excited he is. That is his art from December. And a big shout out to Aunt Vesuvi, who won the month after that. Big shout out to Kevin. You can be that excited, and you can also be on the set. There we go. I know where I am on the set, because right back there on the tiny chair of tiny victories, you can have your picture and your name floating on the set by doing something cool in our community and joining our Patreon at patreon.com/Chatter Squadron. You can rise the ranks up there, but if you become a patron, you will go on the tiny chair until somebody dethrones you future king/queen. But Logan, I think it's time for us to go into the unknown regions, where we talk about something interesting we found outside the universe of Star Wars.
Unknown region.
So yeah, we're nerds. I think we talked about what we'll bring up today.
Right.
We're all around nerds. All I do is nerdy stuff. And one of the major things I spend my time on is Magic the Gathering.
Right.
You've also have been playing it. I think I spread the itch and the bug to you and your brother to join back in the Magic game.
Yeah, it's been some years. I played, and we've played, me and my older brother, both my older brothers actually used to play when I was like, oh man, like 6 or 7.
Yeah.
Like really young. I don't even think we were playing the game right at that time. We just had the cards.
Yeah.
And obviously, since I've gotten back into it, I know there's things we weren't doing right. There's things I'm not doing right now still.
Yeah.
But, yeah. So coming back into it, because it's probably been over 10 years. Then when I came back and started doing the show, and you were like, hey, Magic the Gathering, check it out.
This is like my outlet if you want to hang more, if you want to, yeah.
And as soon as I think we played one game, 1 or 2 games, and it was like, all right, I'm back in.
Yeah.
I'm hooked.
And then it spread to your brother, Corey.
Yes, very quickly.
And now you guys are both building decks. I talked to Corey off and on about what he's working on deck-wise as well. The thing is, a former co-host of the show, Mike Calhoun, he bought me a booster pack of Magic the Gathering at the end of last year. No, sorry. At the end of 2019. I'm still regrouping that we're in 2021.
Right.
At the end of 2019, he gave me one booster pack. I opened it, looked through the cards. I hadn't played Magic in, I think, 4 years or so.
Right.
And you know me, and for people that might not know, I ran a pretty popular Magic the Gathering YouTube channel for a little bit there. So I was really entrenched in it, and then I sold all my cards. But he gave me one booster pack, and I opened it and I looked through the cards, and I saw one card, Vraska, and I said in my brain, I can make a deck around this.
That's all it takes.
And that's all it took.
That's all it is.
Because once I'm on I can make a deck around this, it's over.
Yeah.
It's over.
That's where all your energy goes. Like, you know what? I can make a deck around this. And then you open another pack and you're like, yeah, that goes perfect with that. And then, oh, you're on to, and now we've done boxes. So
Yeah, you guys have bought a bunch of boxes already.
Yeah.
Within the past like 4 or 5 months of jumping back in.
We got a cool system down going, actually.
Which you guys have so much more self-control than I.
Yeah, we'll buy a box, like a box set or a draft set or what any of them. And we will, we'll open a couple packs, but we'll buy the packs back from ourselves.
Yeah.
So we have a little jar, and whatever the packs are, whether they're $6 or $8, depending on the set. Obviously, it varies a little bit. So we'll buy the packs back from ourselves, put money in the jar, open a pack. You know what I mean? So then once you're done with that box, you just go right back to that jar and then
buy another box.
And just get out another box.
It's a really good system. I would love.
Maybe it's not. I don't know. It seems to be good.
No, I would love to do that system. However, I'm not the type of person that can sit there and look at a box and go, but I really want one card from that set. So I'm just going to open a pack. So hopefully didn't get there. So, I'll just open a couple. That's what it would be.
Right.
And I would open the entire box because I've sat down even alone and just opened entire booster boxes. If this is all stuff you have no idea about, that's totally understandable. That's what the Unknown Regions is about. Right. Maybe you'll learn something.
I barely know anything about it.
It's the end of the show, so you can kind of tune out, check out our social medias. Like I said, I put the link tree in all the chats. I'm going to do it one more time to say support. I'll spell support correctly. Support us.
I want you to spell it incorrectly.
Actually. So there we go. You can check us all out there. But after the show, Logan, you and I are probably going to be playing some Magic the Gathering. But we're also going to be doing a post show. So for patrons, you can check that out. Join our Patreon. You can hear the post show where I don't know what we're gonna be discussing next, but it'll be fun to kind of talk about everything that's going on in our lives.
We'll just do a continuation of the elf deck that I'm building.
So you are building the elf deck?
Yeah, I would love to do, I don't know. See, then I get myself so distracted. I do want to do elf. I also want to do, I think that works really well for like a black green.
Yes. Yep.
But I've also thought about throwing in white in there, the black, green, white. I don't know.
There are some white elves. But I would say black green is pretty strong to at least start off with.
Yeah.
Because you can make a black green elf deck. If the base of it, make that deck, and then in the future add another color and switch out cards.
Because who is the commander?
You had that elf ball.
That
the Llanowar
pumps all your elves.
Oh, there's
every elf on the battlefield. It's almost like Anawan. With the rogues a bit.
Yeah, I don't know exactly which one that is.
Not with the milling, but
right.
You know what I mean? With the it soups up all your elves.
Yeah, I want to see this
an army of elves.
I want to see this elf deck.
Really. I want to see it. I've had the idea for like probably a month now, and every time I go to sit down to do it, I get distracted on another deck, which is fine. Actually, I have found it's a little easier. It sounds crazy, but if you are working on multiple decks at a time,
yeah.
That is actually easier because then I'm not super distracted of like, I might want to do this. I might want to do that.
Well, that's what I was going to say is I'm currently working on 3 decks, but 4 because I have one in my mind that I'm working on.
Right.
But I name all of my decks except for one of them. But I'm working on a deck that's going to be group fun, where it's literally incentive. You play with multiple people. So it's going to be incentives for other people to attack other people and kind of make the game fun. You deal a bunch of damage, you gain life, or you draw a bunch of cards or whatever it is. And everybody just kind of causes chaos together. That's what this deck's going to be about. I'm also remaking Hydra Kids, which I'm going to play today against you guys. But Hydra Kids is, it has Hydras in it, but the full name is Hydra Kids, Hydra Wives, and Hydra Husbands too. And then I'm also making a deck that's called Big Butts Go Wide.
Right.
And I'll just leave it at that. And we'll leave this episode at that. Once again, like I said to everybody, feel free to check out all of our social medias. The link tree is also in our Instagram if you're watching this later. Thank you for commenting. Thank you for watching. Thank you for being here when we got new equipment and everything.
New mics.
We'll get even better at using them in the future, but we appreciate everybody so much. And remember, patrons will get to see what happens when the broadcast ends. Logan, is there anything else that you would like to say?
I want to leave everyone with one nose sniff into the mic.
Okay, good. Go ahead. Go ahead. Give it a go.
I refrained all episode. Here we go. Ready? There it is. That's what I want to leave you with. And he wants to leave you with Toph, who's destroying
Bye, everybody.
the set.